All right. All right. I think we're live. I got to say, I think, because we always have to wait for it to appear on screen. There it is. So it looks like we are live. So welcome, guys. We'll take a few moments here. We'll sit around and wait for a hot second. I'm pretty sure some of you guys may be in already. Some of you may not be. So we'll wait maybe about 3 minutes before we really dive into it. So for you guys who actually are hearing me already live, we welcome you. For you guys who are listening to this, that's not live, just bear with us for a second. You guys understand that. We're just, trying to get the live audience in here a little bit. And this will be a short show. As you can see, man, we're starting at 9:11 p.m. We had something else we had to actually attend tonight. And outside of that, it's going to be a very short show. Hard stop at 10 o'clock or even before. Because y'all already know about that. But, it is what it is. But, all right, I believe enough of you guys are already in here now. So, welcome to the Sim Standard Podcast, episode 241. This will be way shorter than any of the others. But we feel like we haven't had an opportunity to kind of talk about Madden overall since it dropped. We'll do our best to do that tonight. Again, we probably won't be able to get all the way into it, so we can continue this on the following week. But yeah, we want to definitely do that. But before we do that, man, I just want to, send it to Smitty and, let him tell you how he's doing. For you guys that don't know, again, I'm not going to share any information that Smitty doesn't. But, Smitty has just had some family things going on over the last couple of weeks. So that's why we haven't done a live show. Like I said, I'm going to let Smitty, divulge whatever he wants to or doesn't want to. Definitely doesn't have to say anything tonight. But most of you guys already know, I sent out on Twitter both of those weeks, send Smitty some good, uplifting, just some spirited things. And you guys did a great job with that, so we appreciate that. But that's where we've been. We took some time off for Smitty to deal with some of his personal things. And now we're back. We had something that we had to attend tonight via conference call, so that's why we're late. But whatever. Too much talking already. Just want to give you guys a quick introduction. We'll be in and out tonight. But yeah, before we go forward, anything that you want to say, Smitty? How has the weeks been, or anything else that crosses your mind tonight other than Madden before we get started?
I will say that once again, thanks a lot everybody that gave the support. I did do a Periscope where I basically disclosed the details of what happened, as to why I've been off, in hiatus. But I'll leave it at that. But as far as anything else, we're starting to see football kick into gear. Still preseason, but we're seeing football kick into gear. That's what's up. But also this 2K20 stuff. My goodness. And I know it's about Madden today. But this 2K20 stuff, the demo will be out next week, so we definitely can talk about it then.
Oh, great.
We were going to talk about it tonight.
Perfect timing.
We definitely could talk about it on next week, because I don't remember the exact date of when the demo come out, but I'll look that up. But we definitely could talk about the details and all that stuff then. Plus, our brother Shakedown is out at 2K. They had him out there at the studio. They had their community day today, so he'll have video footage and content. He's been posting tweets along with other people, telling all kinds of details about stuff regarding the game. So yeah, man, definitely looking forward to getting into that, man. But no, yeah, that's really it, man. Just these games, and hey, whatever happens with this game, like Sim tweeted, I definitely got to start tweeting it myself too. Do not touch the pass rush. Address the zones. Address the zone play. Do not touch the dang on pass rush. Leave it alone. It is fine where it is, and even to and I would say, when it comes to the hit sticks, fix the logic on it, because everybody's able to detonate just like that, and everybody shouldn't be able to. But I like the principle of it because it makes you utilize the in-game mechanics. And that's what the game should be doing. You should have to use those mechanics. They built it. They put it in the game for you to use. You should have to use it. So, so outside of that, make people have to cover and protect the ball. Make people have to do that. I greatly appreciate it. Just tune that, and they're good. That's it. But otherwise, I'll throw back to you, Sim. We can get it rolling.
Yeah, man, that's perfect timing. You know, I promise y'all we didn't do this on purpose. I didn't realize. I did realize, but I just didn't put the dates together that, you know, the 2K prelude, as they usually call it, the demo, whatever you want to call it, will be available next week. So that's perfect time for us to dive into the 2K news. I mean, how much has it been? You guys have noticed I haven't even made an individual video yet because I'm still just. We need a 2-hour show to go into that stuff in correlation with where I wish Madden would be in terms of just franchise and depth. And I'll leave it right there because, again, I don't want to spend too much time on that tonight because we're not going to get all the way into that stuff. So let's do it, man. Here's a funny thing, Smitty, and somebody actually commented to me on Twitter saying you were right. Remember when I said that I promise y'all I felt like Madden 20 might be the highest selling Madden in years? And lo and behold, I don't, it's still early, but here they are already advertising the successes of their digital launch in the first week. I told you. The only reason why I say that, man, is because, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because that's not what this particular show is about, but the closer they move towards trying to resemble real football, you're going to be able to sell more units. And before we even continue, shout outs to Brett Lee, man, former dev at EA, hitting us with a donation. Round of applause.
Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate that. Always from you, brother.
Yes, sir. We definitely appreciate that. And man, here it is. Whether you hate or love Madden, right? What have we always said? They need to start replicating what these players actually do. So we all know about the X Factor abilities and all of that such. But here's the thing. We are critical. Us. Talking about our community. The hardcore sim guys. We are very critical. If you've seen the video I put out today, I even said in the video, this might be a little nitpicky, but it's necessary. Everybody doesn't analyze things like that. The average person, the 10-year-old or even the 15-year-old, even the 18-year-old, trust me, I got younger cousins and nephews and even friends. I even have friends of my age that play the game and they be like, yo, this game is dope. But you know why they say that? Because they don't analyze it the way I do, and they also don't know all of the underlying details like a Smitty and myself would know. Like, it's funny when I'm around other people and I'm watching them play, I'm like, that's a bug. And they like, what are you talking about? They don't even know, but I know. It's almost, Smitty, like I feel like sometimes we know too much. But anyway, those X factors and all that stuff, it's attractive to the casual crowd. Very attractive to the average crowd. Average consumers. To see Patrick Mahomes, oh, did you see that? He did the no-look pass. Oh my God, I'm buying Madden. That's all it takes, folks. And it's ironic because we have been preaching this for years. The sim guys, make it resemble football the best way possible. The casuals will buy. You don't have to make us suffer. Make football. Make it as real as you can. The casual folks will buy. And that looks like that's what's happening. Now, let me give you a little bit of my opinion about the game. Listen, this is just my opinion. Let's do full disclosure, Smitty, because you know how it goes. This is just my opinion. You're welcome to have yours. I will not challenge you on yours. You don't have to challenge me on mine, because guess what? My opinion is not going to change because you share yours and you tell me how dumb I am or da-da-da-da-da, whatever it is you want to say. It matters not. That's the same reason why y'all really don't see me as much on Twitter anymore and all that. It's all pointless. This is just my opinion. But I think this game is by far better than Madden 19. there are a lot of aspects in Madden 20 that I'm like, okay, all right, y'all have changed some fundamental things. Comma, but there's some problems. Oh, there's some problems. Like Smitty said, my biggest issue with the game right now, and just follow me for a minute, guys, because the way Smitty and I talk, right? We look at things with a broader, or we paint the picture with a broader brush, so to speak. We know there's a ton of things that the game still needs going forward. But because we look at it differently, we're merely just judging the product we have. I don't get stuck on every year continuing to say, oh, well, they still didn't do this. Of course, I say that one time, but that's it. I'm not going to keep doing that because obviously it ain't going to happen this year. Unless they do some type of miracle development during the cycle. It's obvious there's a plethora of things that, you know what I mean? It's a plethora of things that we still want in the game. So when we're talking about how we feel about the game, we're basing it off of what is in the product today. So, my biggest issue, zone play. And what do I mean when I say zone play? Smitty, I feel like we beat, we're continuing to beat the dead horse, but listen, I'm going to beat this dead horse until we bury it. The zone play at times is way too stagnant. What do we mean by stagnant? Okay. If a guy crosses your face, cover him or pass him off to somebody. If you are playing as a safety in any football league, you don't just continue to drift. No, your eyes are focused on the action. You're reading the quarterback. Why do things like, and I'm going to be biased really quick, but I'm sure you guys will understand this. Why does Big Ben Roethlisberger's pump fake work in the NFL? Why did they make that an ability for him in Madden 20? Because that pump fake of Ben Roethlisberger is so lethal. He throws the safety off. I mean, that's football 101. I played in the secondary. I played strong safety, right? That was the main thing that we were taught. Do not get fooled by the quarterback. Do y'all know how difficult of a task that is, that you have to watch the ball but at the same time not bite on everything? That is the reason why in the NFL you see guys get wide open sometimes, because they're peeking in the backfield. Artie Burns, again, got to talk about my Steelers. Artie Burns, that's his biggest problem. He's always peeking and he gets caught. So my point is, they don't just drift the way they do in Madden. The safeties act like they have no idea what's going on. That kind of stuff can't happen. Also, when you're in a zone, say you're running a cover two corner on the backside, maybe it's trips on the other side, and there's nobody coming on his side. You don't continue to play the flats. You don't just, I mean, come on, this is 1-on-1. You don't just continue to play the flats because the play told you to do so. So to sum all this stuff up, guys, what the game is still lacking, in my opinion, in coverage is, it seems like some of the rule sets took a step back in terms of match coverage. There's still some broken things going on there. NY Kia has done a great job, breaking down the videos, letting you know what should be happening, what isn't happening, et cetera, et cetera. There are still some things that are happening, but a lot of the checks, especially out of, cover 4 and cover 3 match, it's a lot of the checks don't seem to be there. And either they're not there to where they should be, they're not playing correctly, or some of the checks are just simply not there. Especially things like special checks, when you got trips, and it's cover 4 palms or something like that. And it just seems like things are just not working correctly. So they got to fix that. But then also, just to tie my point back together, I don't want to see players anymore just doing their assignment. It's similar to what I mentioned in the video today. And if you guys saw that video today, ironically, I showed a situation where the cornerback actually did read the ball. He was playing man coverage, played one guy, then when he saw where the ball went, he jumped off of his guy and went to the other guy that was in front of him. Why don't they do this all the time? So to me, it's a strange thing, guys, because I play the game enough to where I see there's things that is happening the way it's supposed to. And then there's other times where they just, I don't know what's happening. It's like they have no resemblance of any type of awareness. And like Smitty always says, they don't diagnose what's going on. And they have got to find a way to get that fixed. That needs to be addressed ASAP. Zone play. Other than that, for the most part, man, I like how the game is playing out. Tackling to me is better. Physics seems to be better. You're definitely seeing more interaction, things that you haven't seen in a long time in terms of how the animations play out. There's a significant reduction in warping and shifting. Still might see it from time to time, but even with the two-man animations, there's some two-man animations that there's very little shifting. NYKia posted a video a day or so ago showing an outstanding interaction on a deep ball, a back shoulder throw, and it was a catch animation I have never seen in this game. Period. No Madden. I've never seen that catch animation, how the guy, caught it in the back shoulder. You guys got to go check out the video. If I remember, I'll post it here in the chat. And that's what I'm seeing a lot in the game. I'm seeing a lot of situations where ball placement is outstanding. I've had some plays that you guys may have seen in some of my franchise videos that you and I've even said it in my commentary. Folks, you can't do that in Madden 19. So, bottom line, just to bring this all home, the game is, I hate to keep saying this because we have said this for a very long time, but the truth is the truth in my opinion, at least from my opinion. This is a step in the right direction. This is a time where I can actually say, oh, this game has some fundamental things that they can definitely build on. However, there's still legacy problems that they must address in the gameplay. And then on top of that, once they get this stuff ironed out, they have to start adding more things that we need to have. We need to get more dynamic gameplay in the trenches. It needs to be more one-to-one. It needs to be where the defenders are always tracking and tracing the ball and or quarterback. That is how it works in a real football environment. Nobody just focuses on the guy that's blocking them. Defenders are usually fighting with him, but they have their eyes on finding the ball to decide where they're going to block shed or where they're going to try to get to. They don't just lock in on the guy that's in front of him. How many times have you guys seen in Madden where the quarterback is standing right there? They ain't paying no attention to him. Little things like that they have to address. Make the trenches more dynamic. Real quick, Smitty, this could take all night, and I know we don't have time for it, but franchise, man, listen, man. Come on. To say they need to invest in franchise mode is an understatement. I can't do this no more. I can't continue to try to enjoy franchise because of my own commentary, so to speak, or my own narrative I'm spinning on it because I'm producing it on YouTube. It keeps it fun because I know some of you guys want to watch it. But to the core, it's just, it's such a wah, 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 wah feeling. I mean, I played Face of the Franchise, right? And I'll be doing a video soon, probably listing about 5 things. At least I have 5 right now. We'll see it, as I go further. About 5 things that they should take from Face of the Franchise that needs to be in standard franchise like ASAP. It just doesn't have any meat on the bones, man. It's so bare bones, and the only thing that keeps me going, honestly and truly, the YouTube viewers, because y'all enjoy it, and I enjoy, producing the content, and my online league, 32-man league. If it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would be doing. I probably would just be playing Madden to give feedback, like literally playing it here and there, and I'll give feedback, shut it down, do something else. Because like I said, this ain't an NBA 2K show tonight, but you best believe that's where I'm spending my time once again. As far as my franchise deep dive experience, it will be my league, and I might actually do my GM this year. We shall see. But that's my overall arching opinion, man. I think if they leave the game where it is from a base of Madden 20 and fix the problems, I think this is a very solid year for Madden gameplay wise. Yes, it has legacy issues. So, guys, please, and for whoever's going to hear this, because I know people always misconstrue things. Just because people can enjoy something and have fun with it doesn't mean that we're saying that the game is great. I don't understand when this narrative started. You know, why can't we give credit to a game or even have fun with a game even if it has problems? All the games we play have problems. So I don't understand that. So don't take what I'm saying is, oh, he's endorsing. No. But I am telling you, I'm having a good time with Madden 20 so far. If they fix the problems that we all know exist, I'm good. And I'll be waiting to see what you do in Madden 21. So that's pretty much where I stand with it, man. That's just my opinion. Take it or love it. Hate it or love it. Whatever. That's where I stand on it, man. What you got, Smitty?
Well, I mean, first things first, the 2K20 demo comes out on Wednesday. So it'll be out next Wednesday. So
yes, sir.
Check that out. For sure. Now, secondly, from what Sim basically is saying, yes, the game, look, 1000%. You know, while I was in the hospital with my wife and everything and all that, I was playing. The only thing that sucked was that I couldn't update the rosters because the internet connection sucked. But when I was just playing out games and playing through the season and all that stuff, I had a lot of fun. A whole lot of fun. Enjoying the game, enjoying the gameplay. I don't have any complaints, you know, as far as just my enjoyment level of it, in spite of the problems. Sim named them. I harp on the zone play all the time. I always reference NFL 2K5 and Backbreaker still to this day have the best zone defensive play. In terms of principle, in the way that it evolves from zone defense to man defense. In terms of how defenders, they anticipate. They give a cushion. They don't give big old lapses in space and everything on purpose because, oh, well, this receiver's outside of my zone, so I'm just going to sit back into a neutral spot and I'm just going to let them gash me for 30, 40 yards. Like, no, that's not what those games do. You see what I'm saying? Now, can you still gain a lot of yards? Oh yeah, you can still make plays and you can still bust up a zone now. Don't get me wrong, because this zone defense is meant for containment. It's not meant to shut everything down. But how players react and how they interact, that's how it should be done. You see what I'm saying? That's how it needs to play. And like Sim said, when we say this every year, there are plays, instances here and there during the course of the game. I see it happen almost every game where I see zone play or even man defensive play where it's like, dude, if they just did this all the time, like the game would be 2 to 3 times better. I could, and I mean, look, I can deal with the franchise mode being dry because of the X factors, the superstar stuff, and everything else. Now, am I upset that they haven't really expanded? Matter of fact, Sam, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I didn't get to see it yet. I need to watch it. NHL dropped a 24-minute video talking about their franchise mode today.
Oh God!
I didn't even watch it yet.
Don't make me mad, Smitty.
Hey, I didn't watch it yet, but they basically they did a deep dive in terms of all the stuff they added in the franchise mode. And once again, guys, this ain't from a game changer for NHL. This ain't some community guy. This is the dev team. Last year they did a 16-minute video going over their Fog of War stuff and everything. Now I do a 24-minute video going over what they did to beef up franchise mode this year. And see, the crazy thing, I will say this though, because I did listen to a few minutes. I listened to only a little of it. But they're doing stuff that was done back in Madden back in the day. You got coaches. You have coaches for all the different levels of leagues that you can manage. It's not just managing one coach. You got your main team's coach, the associated teams coaches that you can manage as well. You have players that'll retire and then become coaches and stuff like that. And they have the whole screen laid out and all kinds of stuff. And they made it so that the teams, like, they just make it correlate well so everything has value. And it's not just, I'll just grab this coach and it's whatever. It's about the coaches. You have to have basically a synergy between the coaches that you have and the players that you bring on board. So it's not just about getting the best player. It's about getting the right player for your scheme, and they make it matter across the whole board because it's very impactful. Like I said, I got to listen to it in full, but it was interesting, just that little snippet. But we know they need to build out franchise mode in Madden. Like Sim said, once again, I'll be in my league. After seeing that clip that I saw on Twitter earlier about 2K20, seeing John Wall do that hezzy and then drive to the hole like that, my league for days. My league for days. This is already a done deal. But I am still going to play Madden. I am still going to stream Madden because I enjoy the game for what it is. But they do need to work on the zone play. And yes, Sim, I saw you tweet about it in response to someone earlier. I think they sent me the tweet as well, or they definitely had you and Kia in it, where they show zone play that resembles what happens in Madden right now.
Oh, yeah.
That we complain about, but it's like, it literally, look what happens when it literally happens in the league. So, and that's the whole point. Oh, excuse me. That's where I'm sitting at with it. It's not about. It's about the consistency. When my man tweeted the play that he tweeted, that was on a play action pass, and you saw a decent amount of defenders bid on that run. They were looking in that backfield, and then when they finally noticed that it wasn't a run, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, but when we're talking about on the whole, you don't have to have a 90 some odd overall secondary in order for players to properly react, give distance gaps between them and the receiver, give adequate cushions so that way they can be the bottle cap over top for safeties and DBs playing beyond their zones and extending a little bit and moving a little bit more. They don't need to do it like that. It doesn't have to be about that. They need to break open the zone. This is stuff we always talk about, organic gameplay. I love to see ball physics be free in their own right. One-to-one animations and everything else. My other big-time issue is the wideout DB interactions. It's still tethered to two-man anthems. They got to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Got to. Because if I'm hitting triangle to go aggressive and you force it into a two-man animation where you're awarding the defensive back before I even get to hit anything, like you're awarding them. You're going to have my receiver jumping in the air, acting as if he's trying to pull the ball away from the DB. I'm like, no, I was trying to catch it. And what makes me mad is that I have a taller I have a taller receiver than the D-back, but you're playing an animation where you're going to reward them. My control doesn't matter. Because you're going to have this two-man animation trigger where the DB is going to get the ball and there's nothing that I can do about it. That's a big-time problem.
You know what's funny about that too, Smitty?
Yeah.
Sometimes it plays out and it seems like the 2-man, and you know it's a 2-man animation, but it plays out seamlessly and makes sense. That's what I don't get about the game. Is some of the stuff that we talk about, it happens. Mm-hmm. But why does it not happen on a regular basis?
Right.
Because it's like, again, like that video link I just posted in here in Wakia's video. Go check it out. That was a perfect pass placement reaction catch animation. It was no drawn to. It was. Why doesn't it not play like that all the time? Like, what is dictating that animation when it kicks in and when it doesn't? It's, oh man, they're so close. They're so close, man.
That's the thing. So I'm saying, so it's like we need to see gameplay wise. We need to see that translated appropriately, but we don't need to see where we got, like I said, whiteout DB interactions, 2 separate animations. Look, that leaked footage from 2K20. The key reason why the gameplay, even though there were 2 users that really didn't know how to play the game, the bottom line is you can look at the gameplay and the animations and how it all flowed, and it looked very fluid. For off-screen footage now, it looked very fluid, very clean, and representative of legitimate basketball. But the players had control over what they wanted to do. That's what you need to give the end users in these games. Before these whiteout DB anthems came into play, we always gave APF and 2K5 the props. Why did we mainly do that? Because it wasn't a canned animation. It was like, yo, you see how the DB tried to make this play? And look at what the wide receiver did to adjust. Like, that's the thing. But they're 2 separate animations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key thing that needs to happen. See, like, even if the play, I'm looking at Kia's play right now, I would love if that was 2 separate animations. If that was 2 separate animations, DB tries to swat or tries to go for a pick, wouldn't it be sweet to see him go for a catch animation? You have a respective catch animation that plays out based upon his skill rating, momentum, speed, all that. And then the wide receiver goes down the way he did and goes for the catch, and he makes it. That would be sweet, because then you could say, dang, you know what? He got me. He just got me. The QB put it in the spot. I tried to make a play on it. Dang, you know what? Maybe I should have went for a swat. Maybe I should have tried to play the receiver instead. But you got the option, and those 3 elements are all, separate. That's what makes NBA 2K look so good, because those entities are all separate entities for the most part. Yes, 2K has 2-man anthems, but they do a real good job of separating all those entities to a point where if 2-man anthems get involved, it's not it's not overriding your control.
Exactly.
To the full point where it's like, oh, I might as well put the stick down because they just told me the outcome. Like, no, you still have control over what you choose to do. It's just the 2-man anthem goes in flow with what you're doing. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
If that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's why we always give PES and FIFA the praise. NHL, same deal. Why? Because they free up the ball and the 2 players involved, 2, 3, whatever number of players involved. It is all uniquely respected in their own tangible lanes. That's what makes these games great. If they just scripted it and made it real heavy with all that you're killing immersion. You're killing it. That's what that's why we need that. That's why we always will press that. And that's the big time thing. What Madden did was good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. You know what? You know what would be awesome? How cool would it be to have the hit stick as effective as it is, but you can actually use the cover the ball mechanic And now, because players are straight up, all the tackling is 100% physics based off of player contact, one to one. How sweet would it be when somebody, let's say somebody hits one of your arms and knocks it down, and you still try to protect the ball? You're still holding R1, and you still try to protect the ball using one arm. Because the one hand is down and you got the other one up, you try to cradle, but then somebody comes through and lands a big old hit, and the helmet pops the ball out. Then you go into instant replay and look and say, how did this happen? Dang, you know what? They just got me. See, I'd be okay with that because that's the kind of stuff that I see in FIFA, PES, and NHL. You got these unique goal instances where it's like, how'd that happen? And you see how it all unfolded. And you like, you know what? I can only respect it. Because everything was respected. It's just the physics element kicked in, and that's it. That's how the outcome came to be. You see what I'm saying? So if Madden had more of that instead of it just being, it's got to be a two-man animation that has to determine the outcome, and that's it. It would be the game would be in such a much better spot.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like they have it to some degree, and let's give a round of applause really quick to Marcus Frazier, man, for the donation.
Oh, big ups to you, bro.
Yo, he said I have some vibrant commentary in my franchise games. Appreciate it. And see, again, that's what I said, man. That's why I'm able to play it, because I enjoy making the content and sharing it with you all. Like, that keeps me playing it. But if it wasn't for that, like, think about this, and this is just a quick sidebar. I've tried to show 2K online, but nobody watches it. But that's what I'm playing at all the time. I'm always in my league. That's my experience. That's my hardcore franchise experience. Y'all just don't see it that often. And I'm thinking what I might do this year, man, I want to get back into streaming when I can. It's just my schedule's been kind of tight. But I might just stream those games, because a lot of times people will come through for the streams. But anyway, here's the thing, man. It's like Smitty said, we're not saying that the game shouldn't have two-man animations. We know it's a process. But all we're saying is they need to find a way to march towards reducing it significantly, or at least getting it to a point to where it's not compromising control. You know, 2K took a step at that last year. I can only assume that they went a step further this year. FIFA does a great job with it. Madden has instances when it's not a two-man animation. I keep saying this. Tackling is the most organic part about Madden. I've been saying that since Madden 18. You see the more organic situations doing tackling. But everything else, trenches, two-man animations with wide receivers and the DBs, they gotta get that to translate in other areas of the field. And again, everybody has their own opinion, but just to comment on, I saw, what's up, Brooklyn? I saw Brooklyn made a comment saying, and Brooklyn, he lives on this thought. He always says this. He says he doesn't feel like they have the programming capability. That is not true. That's not true. I mean, I think a lot of you guys continue to forget what the real issue is with Madden. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But that's clear. That's not true. Look around EA. Just think about it. EA as a whole, as EA Sports as a whole. They have clearly the talent is there. And even if it wasn't there, clearly they have the ability to bring in the talent. That's not the problem. That's not the problem, because remember, some of the games that people love the most, old Madden products, they had the talent then. But I can't control how everyone feels about how long it's taking. And listen, that's personal preference. That's cool. I'm just saying that comment that doesn't resonate with me, only because I know that is not the truth. I promise you, it's not an engineered programmer problem. It is not. But again, that's nothing we can really worry about right now. I just would wish that they would somehow have a come to the Lord moment or something and realize, okay, let's just fix everything. Because these things to me are simple fixes. Other games in your organization have been able to do it. If you just get it to where FIFA is, with one-on-one interactions, if you could just get it to that, I don't even think we having this conversation. So, again, if two-man animations are going to be in the game, just make them as clean and as tight as possible. Make that kick in and kick out point so small that we can't tell what's happening. And I'm cool with that. As long as the outcome plays out the way it should, the animations match, and all of that. Like, even though we definitely know control was taken away in Kia's example in the video he posted, but I think all of us was like, yo, I could kind of live with that though, because it made me believe, oh, the receiver noticed that it was a back shoulder, and dude, the DB was out of position. Great, I'm cool with that. Even though, like Smitty said, we know that was more than likely a two-man animation, but I can live with more of those scenarios that make sense. So they just got to keep pushing forward towards that, man. But like we said, we definitely don't feel like they haven't done anything. I mean, and there's people out there that feel like they haven't. There's people out there that, all they want to do is trash the game, and all they want to do is make, negative. Fine. I mean, all of this is necessary. It is all necessary. All of the voices are necessary, whether they're good, evil, bad, negative, dumb, whatever you want to call it. But the way we approach it, again, the way our feedback is going to be is a little different, man, because of what we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to always have this conversation, Smitty, but I just want people to always know that for those who might be new. It's because of the knowledge we have of how the product is made and how things are governed. We know exactly what the problem is. I don't have to speculate. I don't have to think about this really quick, because we only got a little while left. Why do y'all think that me and Smitty, our tone is always, man, if they would just, man, all they got to do is, man, if they would just do blah. We're literally telling y'all what they literally could do. This is not a shot in the dark. We are literally telling you this is all it will take. I mean, I can't say much more than that, but we're literally telling you this is all that needs to be done. That's it. Is address blah 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 blah. Do it this way, da 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 da, and you got something. But of course, that you're always gonna, you're gonna bump heads when you try to say, "Hey, we need to go. We need to work on this area right here and da 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 da, clean this up, blah 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 blah." And you got somebody else telling you, "Oh, it's fine. Let's move on to something else." Case in point, y'all have always heard me say that I didn't care about signature animations and all that type of stuff until player movement got better. Right? Finally, it's better. It still ain't quite where I would love to see it. And then they finally introduced some signature play style. And I think going forward, you're going to see more signature animation. But my thing is still, if I was sitting in front of someone in corporate, I would say, look, I get that that's cute, and I get it. I'm one of the biggest components of saying it needs to look like real football with the way they play and their skills and all that. But we still need to address the core fundamentals. Like with these DBs. I really want Earl Thomas to play like Earl Thomas. And for the most part, it seems to do that. But again, I still don't feel like we're getting the best out of that as long as you still have some of these two-man animations. And this is the problem that they're having with the big hitters. Come on, man. People, that one, I don't like that one. I've given my feedback on that. That whole, what's his name? Landon Collins and Bobby Watt. Why are they going for hit sticks every time? Just because they have the big hitter trait. That, to me, makes zero sense. Because also, they're not missing. That's the problem. They're not missing. I could see if they were able to whiff the same way we are, but they don't miss. And a good amount of times it's causing a fumble. I'm like, what? See, those are the type of things I don't like. So even though I like the players playing the way they play, I like that element from a Sims perspective where we're like, oh, I like what you're doing there, making guys resemble themselves. But that outcome, ain't nothing simulation about that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just saw Keenan Bush's comment. Yeah, man, listen. Again, here's something I can tell you guys that will prove my point. And it's not about trying to prove a point. Remember, I'm always just trying to educate. I used to be a guy that had no connection with this company, and I always wanted to know. And then all of a sudden, I got the opportunity to learn. So I'm trying to let you guys in on some of the things I know to a certain degree. I can't go but so far because obviously there's a relationship there, and y'all know how that works. If you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. But two things I would tell you to prove my point. Mike Wang, Scott OG. You need me to say that again? Mike Wang and Scott O'Gallagher. Right? Where are these guys now? Mike Wang left 2K, went to EA, and then came back. Then he did a podcast, I want to say, what was it, last year, Smitty? Where he kind of explained the rough patches he had while at EA. OG has never literally said this out loud. And I know OG ain't going to get mad by me saying this. I'm not going to give you intimate detail, but listen. OG knows as much as there's certain things that you're held back from doing. He goes to 2K, and look what we got, along with other people on the staff. So this is why when we tell you guys, no, it's not the programming, it's not the engineers, it's not the devs. Those guys were devs at EA. Brett Lee, if he's still in here, he could probably speak on this too. He's an ex-dev. So again, I'm not trying to make people think like us. I'm just saying, dog, listen to the truth that we're spewing. Don't get caught up thinking that, they're not capable. That is not true. That is by far not the truth. Vic Lugo, when he was there.
Man, please.
Come on, man. This dude was on the team. Y'all remember the force impact from Madden 25? Vic Lugo.
Yep.
Which to me, they were on to something with that. They was on to momentum. Let me tell y'all something else Vic Lugo did. I can tell it now. It's years ago. Vic Lugo had the idea to make it to where certain players couldn't even hit stick. That was something me and Smitty and Azure stressed. Was like, yo, why is kickers able to hit a hit stick? So Vic was like, all right, we're going to take that away from people that don't do it. And if they would have stayed along those lines, Smitty, that probably would have been not a trait, but it probably would have been a tendency now for people. Only certain people can hit stick. That's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Or it should be, it should be an extreme chance to miss if I try to hit stick somebody with Chris Boswell, the kicker, when he's not known for that.
Yep.
But nah, hit stick came back. Oh well, you know, how are people gonna feel if they try to hit stick and they can't do it? See, this was years ago, and right then I was like, see, y'all are worrying too much about pleasing the masses. Just make football.
Yep. That's what we've been emphasizing.
But we're going to have to get out of here in about a second here, guys. But the last thing I will say is this. Listen, we were advised that there's been a change in direction. Judging by Madden 20, as far as just the core, looks like that might be true. But we need to see what they do going forward. We need to see what these patches are going to do for this cycle. And then we definitely need to see what the direction is for Madden 21 before I can fully buy into that. But it appears so far that they are sticking along that line of going in a different direction. We shall see. But I think the game is better. It has issues. I need to see some good title updates. And then I think we'll revisit this conversation, man, like around October, around that time, October, November. But that's all I got, man, for tonight. Any last thing you want to throw out there, Smitty? And keep in mind, guys, that, when we come back next week, it'll be a full show, man. It's just, tonight we had some other things to do, and, we just gotta be out of here.
Yeah, no, main thing that I got, I mean, like I said before, like I always say, we appreciate all you guys coming through. What Sim is saying is 100% spot on. We've always talked about that. We want these improvements. I said that from the very first time we came back from the studio. They can get it done, and they will get it done, I believe, but it's going to take them time. I can never tell you how long, but it's going to take them time. Look at 2K with that player movement. I'll end it with that. Look at 2K player movement, and look how they finally got the differential between the speed of sprinting up and down the court, especially in transition between a big and a guard. 2K's been having that problem for nearly a decade. Yet people rant and rave about how great that engine is. But yet, they've been battling with that for nearly a decade. And now they just now got it. So that right there lets you know right there. When it comes to some elements, especially some big elements in the game, it could take them time to get it. It's not an excuse. That's reality. That's why we speak it. We say, man, if they could just do this, they could just do that. But see, the thing that 2K did, and this is what we need EA to be able to do, is even though they may have a glaring eyesore, big issue going on in their game, there's so many other things that they worked on in the meantime to hold you to hold you down, that it's okay. Like it's not okay that it's not straightened out, but it's okay because they got the mode depth, they got the gameplay, they have enough of this, enough of that, enough of all these other things, and in the meantime they could just, while they try to iron this main issue out, we still got all these other things. That's what we need to see with Madden. And like we've said before, it's not the devs. You gotta let the people in the building do the work. That's the key thing. Like what Sim said, they got a different vision. The vision's changing. The atmosphere is changing. That's how they gotta carry it out. That's it. You do that, you can have your one core gameplay thing you add to the game, but at the same time, address the other stuff too along the way. You know what I mean? Address other things too. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That'll keep people engaged with your game. So that way it's like, franchise ain't where it need to be. But hey, they did do this here and that there and this here and that there. Plus, they got a good foundation of gameplay, so it's okay. They do that. If you do that going forward, as you move on with each installment, before you know it, you'll have a complete game, and people will be more adequately pleased with what you do. So that's it, man. But that's all I got.
And it ain't much. And I'll end with that. It is not much as people think. Like the things that we're talking about, that stuff should not be hard to do if you are a programmer. Let's just be real. I mean, I know programmers, and this stuff. The zone stuff that Smitty was talking about, that's not that hard, folks. Matter of fact, if you still got it, go fire up Madden 12. Go play Madden 12. Don't look at how they're moving. Because, I mean, it was like NHL on Madden back then. But look at how they're playing the zones. But here's the funny thing. Madden 12 didn't have all of the concepts. And like Smitty has alluded to on this show, right? It's got to be difficult for a guy like A-Dub, because all of his concepts you can't always showcase in the game because they don't play out correctly or they're missing something. And this has nothing to do with laziness, guys. I'm telling you, it's an approach. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh man, I promise. One of these times, I know he'll do it. One of these times, we're gonna get A-Dub on here to just talk football. I'm gonna say we ain't even gonna talk about Madden. Let's just have a football talk. I want you to let these people know how much, like, how capable you are, because they seem to think that you don't know what you're doing.
But you know what? The thing is like Brooklyn Bully, like what he just said. See, he said I'll be 50. But you want to know something? I'm 38 now. I was 28 when 2K was still battling with these player movement issues. Think about that. See what I'm saying? No matter how you feel at what age point you're at, when I said it's gonna take EA time to get the stuff right, I didn't say, man, I hope they get it right in the next 2 years because I'm gonna be X amount of years old. Yeah, this is the reality of the situation.
That's the hard
guys.
truth, man.
Yeah, I said that in 2012 when I first came back from the studio. Dudes thought I was caping. No, that's real. That's truth. That was a big thing. That's the biggest thing I took. My man Sean Grady, met him in the hallway at EA. He's one of the main dudes on Madden. He told me then.
Yeah, he's back, by the way.
I seen your videos. I know you guys got issues with the challenge system. We're going to get that right. It's just going to take us time to get it, but we're going to get it right. Is it right yet?
Now, let me tell you something. Now, that one right there, Smitty, I'm going to act like a normal consumer. I ain't trying to hear that. That need to be, man, listen, that thing need to be, that need to be in a patch this year. Come on, man. Like, we share the same grief, guys. Trust me. If y'all knew, we have literally, and we're going a little bit over, but I promise we're going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes because I have to go. We have sat in that building and they've asked for feedback and have literally said this out of our mouths. It's the same thing I said last year. Just pull a list up that I gave you last year. With a lot of things. It is frustrating. And the hard truth is, like my man Bully said, look, the however old you're going to be, bruh, that's why I always, and I know you ain't taking it like this, but this is why I always say, what if it just never gets to where we want it to be? That's a reality. That is an actual reality. That's why I don't put so much energy into the game no more.
Yeah.
Like, again, that's just a side note, because some people say, oh man, you used to use, I really don't care that much no more. I'm going to do this. We're going to do the show. You know, I'm going to always give feedback, but I don't have that emotional connection like that no more, because I'm like, man, at the end of the day, I've been giving feedback for X amount of years. All I'm going to do is just keep throwing it out there. Whatever sticks. And that's it.
Right.
That's all.
And understand the energy levels. Like we always say, guys, technology's getting better, right? Okay, so when you think about it dev-wise, devs still got to learn how to utilize it. So you're talking about time. That's with every company, guys. This is not just EA. So, Brooklyn, I get your point, but this is the thing. Me and Sim, we sit in front of these people. It's just like the energy you see people on Twitter. People complain, rant, rave, all that. As soon as they get in front of a dev, all of a sudden they know how to act right. You see what I'm saying? That in that one-to-one interaction, when somebody explains and breaks it down to you and tells you this is how the process is, man, we want to get that too. And we've said that there have been ideas and stuff that have been talked about in front of us that we're like, oh man, if they do this would be crazy. But they got to be able to do it. That's just it. So it's like, well, we voiced it. They told us there were things they beat us to the punch on even. What am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to sit up here and rant and rave like they ain't doing nothing? Like, no, I understand how it is. So, like Sim said, keep shooting that feedback to them, and then when stuff sticks, that's when we go ahead and celebrate. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know,
that's it. So it is what it is, man.
And we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. I know he's saying answer this, so I'll wait for his question, but I will say this even before I see the question. I'm not here to answer for EA, or I'm just not. I'm not. Like I said, that kind of stuff, I don't dive that deep no more. That's just me, man. I just don't. I'm not going to sit here, and we never have. I know to some people it appears that we're doing this.
Yeah, I see the question. I see the question. It was right there. He said, every year you do one good and then take something else out. It's an ongoing circle. But the thing is with what you're saying, okay, so what was so good in Madden 19 that was took out in 20? Now that's the thing that I want you to answer. Because if you're gonna say zone play, then I'm sorry, no. Zone play is still a big time problem. So what was so good that was in 19 that they took out? That's the key. See what I'm saying? Like, can you honestly say that Madden 20 was better off with what was done in 19 in terms of a big time gameplay aspect? Like, that's the kind of talk that goes on. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're gonna be making that same dialogue forever and a day until it gets there. That's why we just make the point, table it, and move forward. We get it. We get the situation. Yeah. Now it's time to move on. Not to let's keep talking. Let's keep talking the same talk over and over and over again. Like, we've already done it.
And that's the only point. I think everybody tuned in tonight, we all should know in reality, in your own minds, because we all have our own opinions. In most of our minds, we have a certain amount of, let's say, Madden iterations that we think they're behind before they'll be the it game. So if we already know that, well, none of us think that's Madden 21. So when Madden 21 comes around, I'm not going to be saying, oh man, they still did. I already know. I can almost guarantee it. I have no knowledge about Madden 21. I can guarantee you on everything that I love, there would be things in Madden 21 that have not been addressed and have not been done yet. So if I know this already, I'm just not willing to continue to have spend the same energy every year. Oh, this still ain't it. It just, we know this already. I know that NBA 2K is going to fulfill my franchise needs. So I don't even look at Madden to do that for me currently. It does not have 5 core things that I love from 2K yet. It ain't there. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that anybody's wrong for feeling it. We're not saying that at all. We're not saying you can't talk about it. We're just saying I just can't waste my time on this no more because I know what it is. I'm on a wait and see basis with Madden. When they do something good, I recognize that. The things they don't have, I give feedback on that, and then I'm back to waiting. There's nothing else I could do. And that's just it. You know, and I know not everybody handles it like that, but I'll encourage everybody to handle it like that. You'll feel much better. Like, don't put so much weight and bearing into what Madden is doing, man. We already know what it is with them. So why are we upset every year? But anyway, man, we got to go. I have to go.
Yeah.
We're spending too much time on this tonight. But yeah. All right. We out of here, man. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about a more in-depth game in 2K. Maybe some Madden news will pop up as well. But we'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll be able to do a full show. But outside of that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. Catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.